Hi, I'm Minka Sicklinger. Welcome to my studio.
Minka, everything in your studio is you, from the vintage Valentine die cuts to the wine bottle that you created, its logo, to the book that you just published, to your jewelry, to your aesthetic, to your beautiful tattoos. Everything here resonates your energy. In your artwork, where do you find your influences from?
Definitely the things that I collect. I don't get inspired by other artists so much, more by craftsmen. So, I've been collecting antiques and textiles from a very young age, just strange old books, things like that. So I think that would be where I get most of my inspiration from.
You are a very famous tattoo artist, but I'm here more to talk about your fine art, which is what fascinates me and what I'm drawn to, being an art collector and an art reporter. Is there a difference, in your opinion, with your works on skin as opposed to your works on paper and or canvas?
I've been fortunate enough to sort of grow a client base that for the tattooing that really sort of gives me a lot of creative freedom and allows me to, they seek me out for my particular aesthetic and style. So the fine art and the tattooing are very sort of interconnected, but with the fine art it's much more about me and what I'm going through and what I want to express, and even just the color palette that I use is very particular and I can't replicate that color palette on skin. And then obviously with tattooing, it's a very collaborative process. You're always putting a vision to someone else's ideas. So there's only sort of so much leeway that I have as an artist, because I need to represent that authentically for them, since it's on them forever. But yeah, so I think, and then also you have the restriction of about like a particular space that you have to do the tattoo in and a particular wrap that it's going to do and other things you have to work around, whereas sort of for me the fine art is a lot freer, because I can kind of just go.
And in essence also the fine art can live forever, unlike tattoo works.
Yeah.
I was speaking to you when I first got here, and you gave me a tour of your studio and we looked through your portfolio of works, and I asked you, where did you go to school? And you might be one of the only artists I've ever interviewed who has not really had formal training in the aspect of going to college, getting a degree. Where does this talent and discipline come from then?
I went to art school, but I studied photography. I didn't do any drawing at all. And I originally wanted to study jewelry design, but I wanted to work with resin and fiberglass, and that was not allowed because it was deemed too toxic. So that wasn't offered in my art school. So I ended up going into photography, and I was the only person working in the dark room by the end of the 3 years of like a year of 120 people. Everyone else was in the computer labs. And that sort of, when I was very young I drew, and then I stopped when I sort of became a teenager, and the experience of going to art school kind of killed every creative urge I had. So there was about 10 years where I didn't draw a single thing, didn't do anything. And I think once I kind of started doing it, and just how quickly things started to go and how much I felt like I was, finally on my correct path, like I could actually see ahead. I think that's where the drive and the self-discipline comes from, because I want to do big things.
And speaking about big things and being on your artistic path, you're working on 2 incredible projects, you were telling me. One of them with the OBEY company, and also you're doing a project for Saatchi and Saatchi with the Fabergé eggs. Can you elaborate maybe with the OBEY project and where we might find those pieces?
OBEY, I am their collaborating artist. Every season they collaborate with an artist. So I'm their collaborating artist for the fall collection, for the women's wear collection. So I did 3 graphics for them, which will be put onto t-shirts, sweatshirts and tank tops. And then I also designed a ring for them, a piece of jewelry. So yeah, that'll be coming out in August, and you know, along with a little, hopefully a little video and interview and that sort of thing. But I assume you'll be able to buy it anywhere where where they offer OBEY. So.
And can you elaborate on the Saatchi and Saatchi project?
That's with Fabergé, and so each year they do it in a different city in the world. So last year it was in London. This year they do it here, and they invite artists of different disciplines and media to decorate these huge plaster eggs, and then they're placed around the city. And it's sort of, you know, done as like it's a living installation. You have to sort of, you know, go to each location and, you know, see the eggs wherever they're put, because they're sort of put all over New York, and then they'll be auctioned off at the end.
Well, it sounds incredible. And I did get a small sneak peek. Thank you for that. And I'm ready to see it fully realized when it is on display. Is there anything that you would like the viewer to take away from your artwork?
Make your own story up about it.
I love it, and you certainly are making up your own story as your art evolves and as you evolve as an artist. Thank you so much for having me today. I find you completely fascinating, and I look forward to seeing your career trajectory.
Thank you.